right, we can get started, right? Let's kick this off. Hello, everybody. My name is Timothy Tran. I'm a staff solutions engineer here at Cloudinary. I'll be walking through today's Cloudinary Cafe session. I've got myself and Danny Valentine here. Just a couple of basic training guidelines. I'm hoping that you join today to learn something. Please do give us your focus, ask questions, take notes on what matters to you. If you want, you could follow behind the scenes if you've got a Cloudinary account set up already. Use what you learn right away, and above all, have fun. Today's session is focused on the Cloudinary Video Player Studio, and surrounding that is the Cloudinary Video Player itself, as well as how you're going to upload videos, as well as how would you automate some of the practice when it comes to managing videos inside Cloudinary. Now, I bring up this story because if you look on the left-hand side, we've got the typical video browsing experience on what you'd get from, I would say, video as a service platform, such as YouTube and Vimeo. On the right, you've got the Cloudinary Video Player, and you can probably notice a difference in branding between these two sort of platforms. The one on the left being that because it is video as a service, it's not just about viewing the one video, but everything else on the screen as well. You can see you've got ads from different providers. You've got an upcoming list of recommended videos. There are some social elements that can help with engagement, but it's more about activity on the video platform itself rather than the return on investment of the video being viewed. On the right-hand side here, you've got a more focused video experience mocked on a brand by a fashion influencer called Trey Bryant. Thank you, Trey. And what you can see here is that we've branded the video playing experience to have a color palette that matches their brand. You've also got a tailored logo down there, as well as a few other modern video watching experiences. But what you'll see is that the actual experience of watching the video is the same quality as if not better than what you're going to get on YouTube, but it's a much more focused video experience, right? And the whole goal here is that if users are going to be watching your video, you want them to be engaged with just your video and your brand, right? So we're going to get into how you can take your sort of video watching experience from just the video platform as a service, i.e. uploading videos to YouTube and tracking views there, and breaking away and having more control over your brand using the Cloudinary Video Player. That's not to say that you should pull everything down from YouTube. That's a perfectly appropriate funnel for getting video views out there. But we find that most of our customers have success by having a blend of both. So having your videos available on the web properties that you control, as well as your video being published out there as other videos as a service platforms. Cool. I can't remember what the next slide is. Oh yeah, it's demo time. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to hop on over to Cloudinary now. And what I've got here is a couple of sample assets that I have pre-uploaded. I will quickly have a look at these, and I'm going to delete them so we can walk through the upload experience together. We are inside Cloudinary Assets. This is the Cloudinary DAM. We have really good video capabilities inside Cloudinary Assets. In this case, we've got 2 video assets and a whole bunch of supporting assets as well. You can see that I'm able to swap between different views within Cloudinary so I can get a better view of the video assets that I have inside here. Previously, I was inside the list view, which is great for getting data behind the sort of assets that I have within this folder. Whereas I go to the mosaic, it's going to give me like a nice actual view of each video, right? So what I'm going to do here is, I think this Why We Love Bali video, these assets here, I'm going to delete these and we can actually go ahead and upload a fresh set. Let's go ahead and get rid of these assets. Cool. I am going to assume some base knowledge when it comes to uploading assets into Cloudinary. Most people have used it a little. Someone has marked that they've used it regularly, which is great. In terms of uploading video assets into Cloudinary, just because video is different to just an image in a sense that it's an actual more time-based media, there's a lot more automated processing that Cloudinary is capable of that you might not be doing today with your video assets. I think for everyone here who has worked with Cloudinary, a lot of that workflow process actually happens as part of the upload preset. When the video is being uploaded into Cloudinary, just the amount of stuff that you can automate when the video is being uploaded is really quite impressive. In this case here, I've got a whole bunch of different video presets that I've created previously. I've got my override, unsigned video, that sort of thing. I think I'm going to hone in on this video upload preset. You can choose whatever name you'd like, but the key features that I want to bring to attention is within the manage and analyze section of the upload preset. So within this section, we have media analysis section, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can do here between images and video and audio and whatnot. But some really cool newish features that Cloudinary released, the ability to provide auto chaptering, the ability to provide auto transcriptions, as well as auto video details. And so when you're uploading video assets into Cloudinary, if you have these three options checked, it's going to automate a lot of the manual effort you might be doing today with your video assets. So you definitely want to make sure you've got these three checked. And what each of these will do, I'll quickly walk through that now, is the auto chaptering. What that will do is create a separate chapter video file that's going to have the same public ID as your asset that's being uploaded with a different chaptering extension. Similar with the transcription, where Cloudinary will generate the transcription file for you, again, matching public ID. And then the auto video details, what that will use AI to analyze the contents of your video. Once it's done, it will add contextual metadata with a title and a description, and with the generated title and description based upon the contents of your video. So the auto video details, that's actually pretty handy. I'd say that you should probably just leave that on by default, because you can always just edit the contextual metadata that comes through if it's not matching your requirements. Anyone who's ever worked inside the video space, your videos are very rarely named something nice and neat. They're always something -1080p trim or -720p aspect ratio. There's always like some odd naming convention. And so it's good to have the ability to automatically create titles and descriptions that are a lot more aesthetically pleasing for your audience. So we're going to use this upload preset video inside Cloudinary. We're going to head back into assets. I've got my Cloudinary Cafe folder favorited here. And now I'm going to upload that video asset. It's going to ask me for the preset after I've uploaded. So I'm going to grab this MP4 version, right? Obviously, when it comes to Cloudinary, you can use a whole bunch of different video formats. Go ahead and select the video upload preset. It's going to ask me for metadata now. In this case, we're not focused too much on metadata, but it is worth pointing out that you can store metadata against your video assets inside Cloudinary. You can run different workflows against each of these fields. I'm just going to mark this one as approved. It is really common just to maybe mark things as if it's a type of particular video. This case here, maybe it's a promo video, but it's really common. I think the most common thing for me that I've seen is if you've just got, I have it here. But a typical, here it is, yeah, campaign season. That's probably the most common thing that you'll be doing when you're handling like your video image assets for your brand, is what campaign/season are you shooting for? Yeah, it's fall 2025. So we'll let this video upload. As I was saying earlier, if you want to upload a movie file, MK4, MP4, a whole bunch of different video formats, Cloudinary will take that video format, and you have the option to either progressively deliver the video or adaptively deliver the video. But either way, it's going to be delivered via a web-friendly format of your choosing. Right, so you'll see that we've just uploaded that one asset. Behind the scenes, we checked all those auto transcriptions, auto chaptering. And so I'm going to give assets just a couple more seconds to breathe, and then I'll do a refresh. And what you'll see is that we've now generated a whole bunch of supporting assets that have come through here. They're named using the same public ID as I mentioned earlier. We've got that chapters file and the transcript file as well. You can dig into these files, and what you'll see is that it is a text-based format using AI to generate the chapters for this video. I can also head into the transcript as well if I want to preview it directly. Oh wait, maybe I can't here. But we can do that using the Video Player Studio. These two files are going to be auto-generated. If we head on over to the metadata of the asset. So you know earlier when I was applying metadata to this asset, I set the campaign, I set a status, and I set the type, but I didn't do anything else, right? However, if I scroll down to my contextual metadata, that again, using the auto title and auto description, that Cloudinary has generated a description. So explore Bali's breathtaking Tigalalang rice terraces and rich culture. And then we've also got the video title. So discover Bali's stunning rice terraces. And the reason for this is that this is actually a trimmed version of a longer travel video. I did trim it slightly, mainly so we can quickly upload it and whatnot. Aside from this introductory shot, the main feature that it does highlight within the video is the stunning rice terraces, which is this content here. So the AI is just saying, okay, this is the main piece of the content here. Let's go ahead and generate the title and the video based upon that. If I'm not happy with this title description, I can quickly override it. So maybe I do want to just change the title so it does match the We Love Bali Ideal Travel Guide. I can go ahead and save that. All right. So that's the process of getting assets into Cloudinary, just using the auto transcription, auto title, auto chaptering as well. So make sure all that stuff's set up. Now, when you're hopping over to the Video Player Studio, you're essentially going to have the descriptions, the title, and the transcripts already set up, right? At this point in time, I'm actually going to jump to a slightly longer video just so that we have a more sort of realistic experience of, hey, if I want to actually manage slightly longer form content within Cloudinary, just to show what the experience looks like, because that's a pretty short 21 megabyte video. It's pretty small, right? You could probably get away to delivering that progressively. Whereas this video here is a much larger 0.5 gigabyte file. It has a much longer runtime of about 6 minutes. So this is longer content you're probably going to be working with. And now when I hop over to the Video Player Studio for this asset, it is worth pointing out that we've got the title and description set automatically. We've got transcripts and whatnot. Here, you can actually see the title and description of the asset applied to your video. And this Video Player Studio UI is really all about just setting up the video player in the way that you like it. And how that's done is through the concept of these video player profiles. There are a few that I have set up within my Cloudinary system. This is like the finished product by the end of this video. You'll see the fonts change, the colors change. I got the branding down there, right? But I could swap it to say, hey, like an alternative version. So now we've got different color, different logo down the bottom there, a different call to action for the logo. That's worth pointing out. We'll get into that as well. And yeah, you can have all the different type of like video branding that you could ever want applied to your video playing experience. By default, when you first open the Video Player Studio, is that you will open up on this Cloudinary default profile. As you make any changes, it'll then give you the option to actually save that video profile. Underneath Cloudinary Video, there is a dedicated page for you to manage your player profiles. So I don't feel as if you have to like do everything within the Video Player Studio. Here we've got a whole bunch of different ones, right? Yeah, and you're able to duplicate ones, you're able to edit the file names and go ahead and delete them. We always start off with the default Cloudinary profile, which is one of the system templates. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start working on this, rebranding this Cloudinary template. First option that we have here on the list of options is title and description. So choose whatever title and description you want for your video. This is going to load from the contextual metadata. Because we've used that auto title and auto description, it's just going to pull that in via metadata. Now, if for some reason I wasn't happy with this title, I could go ahead and enter a custom title here as well. Latest for fashion trends, right? And that's awesome, right? But then that custom title, if it's saved against your profile, it's always going to be that one custom title. So you want to be careful about setting that, right? The same goes for your custom descriptions as well. Can be used across multiple assets, and that's the way you want to brand your videos. You can definitely go with this custom option. But for now, I'm going to switch back to the metadata title. It's going to pull it from the asset's contextual metadata. When we have a look at the player behavior, this is where you'll see a lot of the typical modern video viewing experiences online, such as start autoplay on scroll. If you've got your video a little bit further down the fold, as users scroll down to it, it'll start auto playing, right? Start muted, loop the video. I think looping video is pretty cool if you've got more of a showcase landscape. I think that's just going to play in the background, just keep looping on by itself, right? In this case, I think what I will do is I'll start muted. Let's go ahead and test the start autoplay on scroll as well. But I'm not going to loop the video. Let's go ahead and start the autoplay. And you note that as I'm doing these changes, the video player is reacting to the changes that I set. But that every time I make a change on the left-hand panel here, the video player is updating, right? So we'll add the volume controls back. Let's add this plus 10 seconds control, which is really common these days. If you're scrolling on YouTube, you just want to get to the point in the video. That's the most important to you, right? Let's go picture in picture, but we're not going to show the download button. In this case, this is more about just pushing our videos out there. Make sure that people are engaging with us online, but we don't want users to have the ability to download the video, right? And here we can define a URL for the logo, as well as a link that the logo is going to point to. Right now, we've got the default Cloudinary logo. The cool thing to note is that this doesn't have to be a Cloudinary URL. If your logo is hosted elsewhere, just copy whatever link you want inside here. I'm going to do just that. I can copy the image address and paste that. And I think for the logo URL as well, I might change that to actually point to the .com site. Cool. Yeah, I wonder why that logo isn't coming through. But maybe it's not liking that link. Thankfully, I've got some backup assets here. So let's go back to my Cloudinary Cafe, and we do have just the logo here. So let me just grab this URL here. All right, let's try this with a Cloudinary URL. Actually, while we're debugging, what I can do is save my work so far, which is great. I think that's worth pointing out. So let me go ahead. I'm going to save as. I'm going to create a new profile here. Let's call this Cloudinary Cafe, just to make it very obvious. Cool. So now we have our Cloudinary Cafe video profile and my work is saved. But as you guys saw, I was having issues getting that link to show up. Oh, wait, I'm confusing the link with the logo. There we go. Now, if we go ahead and save that.
It's also a leading slash in URL, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Danny. All right. I think the last player behavior thing we can do here is enable the right-click menu as well as the floating video player. I'll leave that as is for now, because I know that this is ultimately just going to end up on the page that users can make a scroll past. That was the one player behavior screen. So as you can see, there's a lot to toggle here within the video playing experience. Heck, if we go down to our player settings, this is where we talked earlier about different video delivery styles. So just a quick run through for those who aren't as familiar with video. Progressive is essentially just going to deliver the video as a whole, right? If you're embedding this video on your browser, the browser is going to load the video in its entirety before it even starts playing. Some new technology might try to chunk it anyway, right? But in short, progressive is better for short form content. And also, if you really want to make sure that your video is going to be displayed in the highest quality possible, because there's none of that initial buffering. So it works very well on more high quality product shot type stuff, right? And less more for the long form tutorial content. So because of working with a longer form video, I'm actually going to swap this to adaptive, right? And then you do get to choose between the format of HLS or MPEG Dash. That's completely preferable, up to you. But now that the video is going to be streamed via adaptive, what you'll find is that the video is just going to load a lot quicker and start playing a lot faster, which in terms of getting your video out to your content, users don't like to wait for stuff. I'd say a basic way to look at this: if it's a longer form video, stick to adaptive. If it's a shorter video, stick to progressive, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we also have a AI highlights graph. And so this will actually try to highlight where in the video some interesting stuff is happening. A cool little nifty feature there. In terms of our player appearance, we do have the ability to change colors. Let's go ahead and change the base color. Let's go with a nice bronze looking color. The accent color, I want to change that so it's more complementary to the bronze color. We can go with the bright orange. There we go. And yeah, you can even change the icon, the text color as well. But I'm going to leave that as white for now. And a whole bunch of different fonts that we can choose from as well. If you want to tailor your poster image, you totally can. By default, Cloud is going to auto-select using AI. It's going to analyze the content of the video and choose the poster picture of what it feels is the best image, right? But you can also choose a frame of your choosing as well as a dedicated URL as well. But going back to how you could set the custom title and description, is that this is then going to be set for your profile. So if you have a standard poster image that you want to use across all of your videos, this is where you would set it. But if you want it to be dynamic, auto select is the way to go. And here you'll see the auto chaptering and the auto transcription stuff. If I switch on my auto chapters, what you'll see now is that Cloudinary has done the auto chaptering here. So you can see as I navigate along the timeline that was moving through all of the different fall and winter fashion trends. It's really cool. This is the type of modern video playing experience that users are expecting these days. It's great that Cloudinary is able to automate this stuff for you. If we now head on over to our transcription localization and switch this one on, we can go ahead and enable the original transcription. And you can also have alternative translations if you want Spanish and French. There are options as well. So now we've gone from a plain video playing experience to a nicely branded video playing experience. So when I hit play now, I've got all the video play controls that we're just talking about. We also have the ability to swap to different languages, right? Now, again, why this is really cool, and I know that I've only got 1 minute left, so let's make sure that we get this done, is that, all right, we've done all this nice setup. And the reason for that is that we want to be able to get this out to our users so they can really enjoy the video watching experience. I'm going to grab my embed code here. In this case here, I've just got a headless CMS system that I've set up. I'm just going to put the video on this page here. Embedding that, save. I'll make sure to publish that. Done. All right, looking at the front end, if you're picturing we're on Trey's site, and this is the YouTube video that we're looking at earlier, right? And you see that we have, again, a very heavily YouTube branded experience. It's probably going to try to suggest videos and whatnot for me, right? Whereas if we swap in over to the Cloudinary video experience, we have a more focused branded experience where it's more about keeping the user on the site that they're already on, more tailored branding. And we've also added that call to action as well. So if I hit the logo here, it's actually going to take me to Trey Bryant's site. All right, we're at the right time. Thanks a lot for attending today. I hope that was informative for everyone. Danny, if you've got any closing words, or if we're all good to wrap up for today.
Yeah, what I'd like to say is if anything does come up to you that you felt you wanted to ask but you didn't have the time, feel free to reach out. support.cloudinary.com. We'll be happy to pick this up over a support ticket and take it from there.
Thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody.